and thank you, Natasha. I'm Mary Huber. I'm a colleague of Pat's from long ago and continuing today, and it's my honor to be invited to say a few words in appreciation of Pat. When I was thinking of what I was going to say today, I thought, well, it's about Pat, so I'll stick with the letter P. uh, an old Sesame Street trick. Um, so I would like to say a few words about Pat and programs. P number one, Pat and people, and Pat as a partner in crime. Uh, One of Pat's most important contributions to assessment work has been her ability to translate theory into practice, to move from idea to prototype, as she once phrased it long ago. So I've had the privilege of participating in the leadership group for one of Pat's most influential initiatives, the Carnegie Academy for the Scholarship of Teaching and Learning, or CASTLE, which for over a decade engaged individuals and campus leaders and disciplinary society groups in developing a whole new field of practitioner inquiry into teaching and learning in college classrooms and programs. So anyone who has ever joined Pat, even for just a workshop, knows that the hallmarks of her touch include the things we experienced in Castle: high structure, high challenge, and high enjoyability. I'll move now to people, because a key to assessment, at least in the scholarship of teaching and learning world, is paying attention to students. And there are, of course, very many fancy ways of doing that. But one of the most basic ones is just listening. And Pat is a master at that. When she is leading a project or a workshop or a discussion, she really listens. She acknowledges people's contributions. She builds on those contributions and she guides the whole room to new insights. If you've been at a meeting or a workshop or a Q&A session with Pat, you will recognize this generosity of intellect and spirit as an additional hallmark of her style. And finally, let me just end with an appreciation of Pat as a partner in crime. Now, crime is maybe not quite the word for it, but Pat and I have worked together on a string of initiatives for over 20 years, first at the Carnegie Foundation for the Advancement of Teaching, and then through the Bayview Alliance. Indeed, as I speak, we're in the throes of writing the 12th report for a set of longitudinal case studies that we're doing of 4 STEM departments engaged in a pedagogical improvement initiative modeled on the Carl Wyman Science Education Initiative. Now, if you've had the opportunity to work with Pat, you will also appreciate how imaginatively she thinks, how quickly she works, and how beautifully she writes. It's been a great collaboration, and we're not quite done. I have a grandson who is starting college online this fall, and he was telling me yesterday that in his most exciting course, the 200 students have tricked the professor into continuing an extra half hour each time. The session is supposed to be over at 1:15, but they've convinced her it's not till 1:45. So if Pat is listening, I want her to know that while we've been at it for quite a long time already, we too are not quite done. We have till 1:45 to continue on. Thank heavens.